This video will explain the basics of Mastercam. So in Mastercam, we have our drop-down menus, our icons that we can move around. Over here we have our operations manager. I can close that because when I first start I often have to draw geometry and I might as well have the screen as big as possible. The ribbon bar will change as we activate a command. So if I activate the point command, the ribbon bar will come up specific to points. If I activate create a rectangle, the ribbon bar will come up specific to creating rectangles. To bring back the operations manager, I just press Alt-O on the keyboard. So Alt-O will make it appear and disappear. Another very handy thing, especially for new users, you'll often hold your middle mouse wheel and pan around and zoom, and you've lost track of where you are. So you should come back to the isometric view, fit your screen and have a look, but the F9 key will show the axis. Okay? So F9 toggles on and off your axis. Okay? Adding this little square will help you visualize things as well to your screen. So to add this square, we're going to go to Settings, Configuration, and from here I can change colors of things, such as my background color, any color I wish to choose. But if I go to Screen, I can turn on display the XYZ axis, and I'm to display the WCS, Work Coordinate System, XYZ axis. So these two axes here I've turned on. To get the little grid, I go to the grid settings, make it visible. I'll set it spacing up to 1/4 inch and the size to 1. And if I want to apply these, I just click OK. Okay, so again, F9 toggles on and off the axis to help you visualize. Alt-O will bring back the operations manager. And first thing we often notice, we've started Mastercam, and this is where all our toolpaths will appear in our machine type. So when we're ready to add toolpaths, if there's no machine type here, I need to come up to machine type. If I'm going to create some milling toolpaths, I'll say Mill, Default, or go to Manage List and select the type of machine I have. So if I have a generic Haas with the Renishaw, I can click Add, say OK, and now when I go to machine type Mill, I have the default and the Haas I just picked. For today, I'll choose the default Mill. So over here in the Operation Manager, it's populated a machine group 1, and it's got some properties if I expand them. In the properties, I click on Tool Settings, and a new window will pop up. Here I'm going to give the program a number up to 4 digits for typical Fanuc machines. I'm going to tell it to assign tool numbers sequentially. In other words, the first tool I use will be numbered 1, the second will be 2, and etc. I want it to warn me if I accidentally use the same tool. And I will always come down here and select my material. Right? The default is 2024 aluminum, so I can say Select. Okay. The material list window will pop up. What I want to do, I'm working in mil and inch, so I'm going to say the source for my material is the mill library. Okay. The window changes a bit. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to tell it that this particular part is 1010 steel by selecting it and saying OK. Every line in a Mastercam program will have a number. This little window is telling us the first number will be 100, the next line will be number 110, and etc. We often need to go to stock setup next and set up our stock, and I'll come back to this later in a separate video. Okay. Once I've set these up, I can minimize them. Again, if I'm just drawing, I can hide my operations manager. So here in the drawing window, our graphics area is where we're going to create our graphics. I'll activate the commands using one of the toolbars or the drop-down menus. Okay. What I always want to pay attention to is the status bar across the bottom, which lets me know I'm in 2D or 3D drawing mode. Just by clicking on this, I can change it. Okay. It tells me the Z plane I'm drawing in, my current color. If I wish a new color, I just click on the color. Color window will pop up and I can change the color to whichever one I wish to be the active drawing color. Okay. I have a level manager and click on it. The level manager window will pop up. Okay, currently by default I'm always in level 1 and it's visible. I now have 12 entities, these 12 lines. If I wish to create a new level, I just here give it a number, I'll call it 2. Name it whatever I wish to call the new level. Okay. As soon as I create a new level, it becomes the active level. So I go OK. Down here it tells me I'm now working in level 2, my new level. If I click on level again, it will take me back and show me I'm working in my new level 1. If I don't want to see, I'm working in my new level 2. If I do not wish to see level 1, I can just click on the visibility of it, everything disappears. I cannot, however, shut the visibility of the active level off. To make level 1 active, I simply click in the number column under 1, and it will be turned back on, and now I can hide level 2 by shutting it off. Okay. Next, across our status bar, we have attributes. Attributes are all of these entities: line type, line thickness, point style, color, level, so I can change them all at once. Once I set any of these attributes, from that point forward, any geometry I create, in this case will be created on level 1, of system color 10, of this line style and this line thickness. The next important thing I need to stress that we're always paying attention to is down here in the lower left hand corner, and what it tells me is the tool and construction plane is the top. My graphics view is isometric because I selected the isometric view. The tool plane must always be the top for any 3-axis mill, whether it's a horizontal or vertical. What we're telling it is the tool is approaching from the top of the part. Okay. My construction plane currently is also the top, so if I'm creating geometry, I'm doing it in the top plane. My work coordinate system is the top, and my graphics view is isometric. If I wish to create geometry in the right plane, I will come over here and I can choose right plane. I'm still in the isometric view, but you'll notice my little square here has changed, and it's telling me I'm creating geometry in the right side. So I could draw some lines here in the right side. Okay. Now that I'm working in the right side, if I want to draw a line at this point relative to the right side, I'm going to select a new Z coordinate. Okay. Where this gets confusing, and to keep it straight, I'm working in the right side plane. This coordinate system here is now relative to the right side plane. So this is my x-axis, this is my y, this is my z when I'm constructing geometry in the right plane. I'm in 2D mode, so if I wish to construct in the right plane at this z level, I can right click here in the window, select the z coordinate of a point, select geometry at that point, and now when I create a line, I'm working at that z level. Okay, so these are Mastercam basics. Before I add a tool path, it's very important that the tool and construction plane always say the top. To get this to switch back to the top, there are several ways. I can choose the top plane, or I can choose to look at my part isometrically. Okay, so if I want to switch to the front construction plane, I can switch to front. Again, I can set a new Z level for the front. This is showing me my X, Y, Z axis relative to the front construction plane. Okay, so I'll choose the Z here, and now when I create geometry, right, it's created in this plane. If I were to add tool paths, I want this to go back to top. I can click isometric to set it back to top. Okay. When I'm constructing geometry, so here I have top, front, and right, the most common planes I want to construct geometry in. If the plane I wish to construct the geometry in isn't present here, I can also access the plane option from the status bar by clicking planes, and now I can say, okay, I want to create it in the bottom, the left, whichever view I desire.